Harris.
And are you a actor or a filmmaker, director?
All the above.
All the above.
There. Yes.
What's your favorite acting or filmmaking or directing? What's your favorite?
I would say acting's probably my favorite. I kind of got into the other one because I was acting in a film and didn't want it to suck, so I wanted to make sure that good people were in it. And next thing you know, I'm suddenly casting and producing and doing all the rest of it as well. Yeah.
So how many films have you been in?
Wow. I would say it's between 5 and 10. I mean, as far as...
Are these all feature films or short films or all?
A little bit of everything. I've done some features, I've done some music videos, a couple of shorts. You know, some of them long roll, some of them just kind of walking along in the background. But you know, it all adds up to the experience of it. You know, you kind of figure you start as the person who walks along in the background, and eventually you get yourself to the front.
Yeah. So do you have any films in the film festival this year, or?
I don't have any films in the film festival this year. One that we are working on, which is going to be short, which is going to be next year, is called Zombie Tag, and that one's a lot of fun because we got to play with doing kind of scary horror movie makeup and stuff like that.
Oh boy!
But it'll be a fun one. It's zombies, but it's one that young people can watch and enjoy and appreciate without having to hide the fact from their dad. So that's a good one.
That's a good one.
That'll be a good one. I'll
Yes.
see that. Oh.
Yes, because I'm not good with horror films. So
No.
It's not everybody's thing.
It's an acquired kind of seeing thing.
It's an acquired taste.
Acquired taste.
Yes,
Exactly.
very much so. The taste for flesh and blood. No.
Jeez. Scare me in my dreams, why don't you?
There we go.
Okay,
So-
back to subject.
Yes.
How many have you produced or directed?
I helped produce one a few years ago that was called Jesus Fish. Real quick and simple description of it. Basically take all the characters in your typical church film, drop them in the middle of Pulp Fiction, and kind of with a kind of Quentin Tarantino type dialogue and subject matter, and it's really messed up, but it won best Oklahoma film that year in the film festival. Wait a few years till you guys watch that one. But that was kind of the springboard for it, and in fact Sherry, who was just up here, she was in it. And, we've got a couple more in the works, and then I was involved with Sacred Bloods, and another one that was done here called Soulmates, and one that was a student film a few years ago called Unholy. That was a fun being involved with that one. That was Raymond a while ago, a high school student filmmaker. Fun to work with.
Yeah. So would you like a cast that gets done, or would you like a cast that has fun while getting everything done?
I think you have to have a balance of both, because if all you're doing is focusing on work, then there's the word right there. It becomes work. If you spend your whole time just focusing on we just want to have fun, well, there's this degree of seriousness that has to take place in order to get something done, because it isn't always fun. Sometimes there's hard work. I mean, yesterday we were shooting a commercial, and my director went way down to the other side of this bridge, and I'm carrying this big, heavy plaster column for this commercial we're doing, and I'm like, why in the world are you going all the way down to the other end of this bridge? Then I realized it's because it was an awesome looking shot with Tulsa in the background when we got down there. But I was like, okay, this isn't fun, but we're committed to the work and getting it done, and that's what makes it look good. That's where that professional side of it comes in. But if you quit having fun doing it, then that's where projects can fall apart.
So, what's your favorite category? You like comedy, you like sad adventure, or horror? I think you're leaning to horror.
Yeah, I mean, I've always wanted to be the strapping hero, but I usually end up being kind of the comedic, the guy running away from the monsters or something like that. We play with the horror genre because the interesting thing is with the horror genre, you can tell stories that have a different meaning. They have a hidden meaning to them. And people are sitting there going, oh wow, I'm watching this great horror flick, and all of a sudden they're like, oh, they're actually saying something with this. I don't know, I like to keep people guessing. I think that's the fun thing, you know. I'd love to do more heavy drama and stuff, and comedy is always just fun, you know. The timing of it is work, and that's where your dialogue and you got to know your lines to make comedy work. But you know, you can have some amazing stuff come out of spontaneous moments within a comedy that you can't necessarily always do with a drama. So, like I said, I kind of play all the fields on that.
Okay, well, thank you very much for coming in
Oh, you're
and
welcome.
letting us interview you.
It's been a blast. Thanks.
Thanks.